Culture, culture. We're gathered here today at the Republican Monument in Kilkelly to commemorate and pledge our allegiance to the All-Ireland Republic proclaimed by Pádraic Pearse in Easter week in 1916. I'd now like to call on Tommy Cole to lay a wreath on behalf of the Republican movement. Good, Tommy. I'd now like to call on Kevin Grealish to lay a wreath on behalf of Mayo Republicans. Good, Kevin. I'd now like to call on Peter O'Reilly to read the Mayo Roll of Honour.
These men from the East Mayo Brigade died in defence of the Irish Republic 1918 through to 1923. Sean Corcoran, Thomas Flannery, Seamus Mulrain, Dr. Frank Ferrin, Eugene Kelly, Joe Walsh, Paddy Boland, John McGowan, Willie Moran, Thomas McNicholas, Michael Cohen, Pat Mulligan, Peter Nealon, Thomas Neary, and Michael Duffy, and the 300 cyclists from Mayo, Jack McNeila, Michael Gohan, and Frank Stagg.
Good, Peter. I'd now like to call on Colette Healy to read the Easter statement from the leadership of the Republican movement.
Easter statement from the leadership of the Republican movement. On this, the 107th anniversary of the heroic Easter Rising of 1916, the leadership of the Republican movement sends greetings to Irish people at home and abroad. We are gathered at the graves and monuments to our patriot dead, or remembering them in any other way. The Republic which those patriots served and gave their lives for has yet to triumph. We pledge to continue the struggle despite all that is thrown against us. We send salutations to Sinn Féin Poblaid, Cumann Mon and the Fianna Éireann, who stand with us in the Republican project to bring about national liberation from British imperialism and influence. Last year, we made a call to the Irish people, and especially the youth who believe in the cause of Irish republicanism, to join the ranks of the Republican movement. Again, we make that call, and we welcome those who have come forward since last Easter to serve their country. To give service to the Irish Republic is indeed a noble act and patriotic duty. With veterans and new people, the Republican movement will endure. We will build the movement on a good Republican foundation, and we will resist the British occupation of our country to the best of our capability. This year marks 25 years since the Stormont Belfast Agreement, which was signed by constitutional nationalists, unionists and the Dublin and British governments, and strongly supported by the United States of America. The agreement was based on the lie that the peace agreement was voted on by all the Irish people, as two referenda took place on the same day, north and south of Britain's border. The referendum in the 26 counties was on an amendment to the 26 county constitution, not the Stormont Agreement. The establishment in Ireland and Britain are self-congratulating themselves on a great job done. They will fall over themselves and honour people like Bertie Ahern, Tony Blair and Bill Clinton, with whom we are told there would be no agreement. Ahern, who was dragged before a tribunal, and Tony Blair, who lied to the British House of Commons and brought Britain into a war with Iraq, along with their US allies, at a cost of hundreds of thousands of mostly civilian lives. Those are the heroes of a so-called peace agreement, which has now institutionalised sectarianism in the occupied 6 counties. There is only peace for those who accept the British occupation. For those that do not, or that is suspected they do not, they will stop and search, arbitrary arrests and house raids. Political courts where judgments are made on the political outlook of those unlucky to appear before them. Easter commemorations are attacked by the RUCPSNI. The Easter lily is banned from prisons where Republican prisoners are held, while the poppy is allowed. We condemn the political reformists who have turned their backs on the struggle for Irish freedom, while out of the corner of their mouths they commemorate Irish patriots who have carried out that struggle. The peace process has become more important than their stated long-term objective, a united Ireland. The peace process is a British process of containment of the Irish struggle. The reformists have now taken over from the SDLP as the stoop-down low party. The leader in Leinster House has declared she is a pen pal of the British King Charles. Recently released state papers reveal that John Groom drafted a statement on behalf of the Provisionals military wing in 1996 in relation to returning to a ceasefire situation. We reject the process which is now in full swing of bringing the 26 county state into NATO. China and Russia are being sold as a bogeyman on TV and radio news on a daily basis. Chinese social media is looked upon with suspicion. All of this is to play mind games with the electorate and promote NATO as necessary for defence. The EU is now also a military bloc. The people of the 26 counties will have serious choices to make in the referendum in the near future. The politicians who demand peace at home are doing their best to involve their own military in foreign wars. We reject the rise of the right-wing anti-immigrant parties who have come to the fore lately. Many of those involved carry our national flag and also carry other Republican flags, for example the Starry Plough. Where were these patriots in opposition to the British occupation? These groups spew hatred and division, which the Irish people, as a post-colonial society, are very familiar with. Some of these groups would be best described as a military wing of Fianna Gael or dissident Fianna Gaelers. We salute Sinn Féin Poblack and the Misha Ura, the Selling of Ireland campaign, which highlights the abandonment of Irish nationhood as a 32-county unit by the political establishment in favour of 2 partition states. 100 years ago in 1923, the savagery and brutality of the newly formed Free State came to the fore, from Kerry to Donegal, from Wexford to Galway, and several other areas. Free State forces using British guns and munitions unleashed a campaign of terror among fellow Irish men. They carried on with the black and tans left off. This must never be forgotten. The Free State did not succeed in crushing republicanism, and they will never be allowed to do so. In conclusion, the leadership thanks our members and supporters for all they do to keep the Republican movement on the road to freedom. Since the formation of the United Irishmen in Belfast in 1791, Down to this day, we strive to bring about a better Ireland for the people to live in, a peaceful and fair society based on the traditional Republican ideals of equality, liberty and fraternity. Continuity, not compromise, and public
I'd now like to call on Stephen French to read the proclamation of the Irish Republic. Irish Republic to the people of Ireland, Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and the dead generations for which he receives her old tradition of nationhood. Ireland's host summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. Having organised and trained her manhood to her secret revolutionary organisation, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organisations, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizen Army, having patiently perfected her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself, she now seizes that moment and supported by her exiled children in America and by her gallant allies in Europe, relying in the first in her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory. We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of the Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible. The long usurpation of that right by a foreign people and government has not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished except by the destruction of the Irish people. In every generation the Irish people have asserted their right to national freedom and sovereignty. 6 times during the past 300 years they have asserted it in arms. Standing on that fundamental right and again asserting it in arms in the face of the world, we hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign independent state, and we pledge our lives and the lives of our comrades in arms to the cause of its freedom, of its welfare, and of its exaltation among the nations. The Irish Republic is entitled to and hereby claims the allegiance of every Irish man and Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunities for all its citizens, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation and of all its parts, cherishing all of the children of the nation equally, and oblivious of the differences carefully fostered by an alien government, which has divided the minority from the majority in the past, until our arms have brought the opportune moment for the establishment of a permanent national government, representative of the whole people of Ireland, and elected by the suffrages of all our men and women. The provisional government hereby constituted will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for the people. We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessings we invoke upon our arms, and we declare that no one who serves that cause will be honoured for cowardice, inhumanity or rapine. In this supreme hour the Irish nation must, by its valour and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called. Signed on behalf of the Provisional Government, Thomas J. Clark, Sean McDermott, P.H. Pearce, James Connolly, Thomas McDonough, Eamon Kent, Joseph Plunkett. For Margaret Stephen. I'd now like to call on Margaret Calhoun to say a decade of the Rosary.
On nahar tar now go nit dan go ta go riat go nit the heller and talamor nehar now or an leher tor that nuk smak ni be na ma ha much gar be na pe is na lishi ta hu assertion of should the heller and talam the gas the puncher and the latest spani hu the na the spani character for nisa and we finish with the was man sé a bheith bhfuir atá London na grás a tan siar na leat Spenny hu mrá agus is Spenny an tar a brenísa an ní bhar dé go bhar an na peti níos go ar rás sé a bheith bhfuir atá London na grás a tan siar na leat Spenny hu mrá agus is Spenny an tar a brenísa sé a bheith bhfuir atá London na grás a tan siar na leat Spenny hu mrá agus is Spenny an tar a brenísa peti níos go ar rás sé a bheith bhfuir atá London grás a tan siar na leat Spenny hu mrá agus is Spenny an tar a brenísa sé a bheith bhfuir atá London na grás a tan siar na leat Spenny hu mrá agus is Spenny an tar a brenísa sé a bheith bhfuir atá London grás a tan siar na leat Spenny hu mrá agus is Spenny an tar a brenísa sé go bhar na peti níos go ar rás sé a bheith bhfuir atá London na grás a tan siar na leat Spenny hu mrá agus is Spenny an tar a brenísa sé a bheith bhfuir atá London grás a tan siar na leat Spenny hu mrá agus is Spenny an tar a brenísa sé a bheith bhfuir atá London grás a tan siar na leat Spenny hu mrá agus is Spenny an tar a brenísa Ró go nethe go bhhaach agus go spirit níomh is go bháil
Margaret. I'd now like to call on the piper to play a lament for the dipping of your national flag. I'd now like to call on Republican Sinn Féin County Councillor Tomás O'Curran to give today's oration. Gomorrah de Chorlach. Foblatani agus a cháde ile goléir tá bailíonn seo the brigade Erwio Leonor respond as a husband gonna lechre a Hilton Shaw a sensation na him. Tagan Mudden Shaw Gahal Blaine Story your mission Shaw or a Togo on Janaween Toch Shaw Achs Moran Credjunt gonna do nothing I was going to Rio, a while I'm target, lay a Quran. This Kajan fashion here, going after the yoke, or the man Nachi in Shaw. The Kuba in the yoke, and Yachtra, I was in Sur and Yachtela, the full bass, and Stelk Okrish. Hulafart Graham and Tomshaw Govlin, Tagan Mudge, Leonor Espont, I was come to Hana Yena, Orafshaw, a Hoga Seal, a Maha, son Nehim. Hogsha the Maha, I was a good fella, son Shuganya. I was good gentleman, Tá Germa dínta go leor acab Medina seo. Ach, bei dína anna gcónaí, in agus tá amálinn tab, a dhéanas cynnahan na léchra seo, a thug a maithe agus a síl. Bhíonn stairiúí seo ar bhealach, 100 bliain ón 1953. Agus bhí go leor cynnahan ar fud na héireann an bhliain seo. Agus cynnahan nach bhfuil críoch mé lóg fós. As tá móí thosa na cynnahan seo an bhliain seo caite a ní na nolach. Mar a dtíanú cynnahan ar Carol a lábhachó a Mainteán in 1952 ar an tochtú lá gan bhí na nolach. Liam Mellows, Joe McKelvey, Dick Barrett agus Rory O'Connor. Ceann le chuile chúige. Chairman, friends and Republicans, and especially Republicans where we are here today in this hallowed spot in East Mayo. It's an honour for me to be asked to speak here today at the memorial to those 18 gallant men. The 15 on this plaque and the 300 strikers who gave their supreme sacrifice died on hunger strike, one in England, 2 in England and 1 in Dublin in 1940. The other 2 in the 70s, Michael Gaughan in 74 and Frank Stagg in 76. And this being a very special year in republicanism, that we have started and finished up, especially here in Connacht, in East Mayo, on Easter Monday, on the anniversary of the Rising, the 107th anniversary of the Easter Rising, and also the 100th anniversary of the executions by the Free State government in many parts of Ireland. Earlier on in the year, we started with the Cold Timon memorials in Arigna in Roscommon, Heritage Kerry, Ballyseedy, Countess Bridge in Killarney, and the Bahas Workhouse outside of Carsiveen. There are other atrocities that probably weren't mentioned, but I would like to mention the Clashmelkin Caves in Kerry, when the comrades that fought together, slept together, and ate together whatever they had, and were like brothers. But when they split and divided in 1922, they came out from Tralee and spilled tar and petrol down to the caves on their former comrades. Irishmen against Irishmen. Very, very hard to understand it. It is indeed what happened when, in Dublin, the Republican movement decided, under an invitation from Lloyd George, when he could see defeats that happens in many parts of Ireland, when they were taken out, and a lot of executions and a lot of activity went on when the TANs that were sent here in 1921, and of course the RICs were the eyes and ears of the British. When they went to London, and that was the trouble, they divided under Lloyd George's government. The Welsh wizard, as he was known to many. But a Welshman that his own country was at that time, and still is, over 100 years on, occupied by the same crown that occupies our 6 northeastern counties. It's not very fashionable to be a Republican now, because of all those that went into these institutions since the state was founded in late 21, early 22. They went and they forgot about their republicanism. Certainly, from the first uprising with Tone and the United Irishmen, we were together, even though we were defeated. And more so in this fine county that we're in today, Killala, when the French came ashore and fought and came to help the United Irishmen, this was one of the counties that was to the fore. There are other counties, but I will mention this one specifically because we're here today. The young Irelanders rose again in North America and Canada, and from there came the Fenians. They fought, and we were again defeated. Came 1916, and we put up a big battle. And you'd have to look at the men that fought in that battle. Were they military? And you'd have to say to yourself, no, they weren't. They were either teachers, or poets, or historians, or whatever it may be. Now the old man, Tom Clark, the old Fenian, they came together. And they took on the might of the British Empire. And they knew their fate. With the execution of the 7 signatories in May of 1916, James Connolly, who was badly wounded and was shot in the chair. If there's any blood in us, we must never ever forget what happened. That defeat, they were together. The Tans came. They fought the Tans. And then I suppose the first light that was lit in 1798, the first spark that was lit by the United Irishmen started to pay dividends when they had the Tans on the road. Now, if they were being defeated and if they couldn't sustain the war, it is my own firm belief that they should have stopped, like they did in previous years from 1798 on, and wait. But they should not have divided. They divided and they fought one another. And it's been the case ever since that has left Ireland in limbo, with the 6 occupied counties still under English rule. We may hear much talk about 25 years of agreements since the so-called Good Friday came. Yes, the majority of the people in the 32 counties at the time, they voted for peace. We Republicans didn't vote for it. We voted for a British complete withdrawal from our country. There's no peace agreements. There's no rule that England can write for us to follow. They've been here for over 850 odd years. We've suffered at their hands and we're still suffering. We're divided at their hands and still are divided, and will be divided while they're here. Their glorious empire is crumbled from something that sun never went down on. They're very little of a drift now. It's not, as I said previously, fashionable to stand at spots today under the eyes and ears and cameras and tape recorders of the messenger boys of the Dublin and English administration. The police are out here in force, as they have been in every part of Ireland this weekend. And I'll tell you boys, bring back the message to your Free State masters that Ireland unfree shall never be at peace. Pierce said it, that while Ireland holds those graves, while Ireland holds those warriors, Ireland at peace, unfree shall never be at peace. To mention here those gallant men who went out from the East Mayo Brigade from the 1916 rising onwards, and many probably were shot in that rising. I don't know exactly, but I know that some of these men were killed by the Free State, the very same crowd that killed people in other parts of Ireland. We must look with pride and dignity on all of those men here. That is but a few. There are other parts of Mayo that there are oaths of honour that hasn't been read here today. Different parts, north and south and west, and we're here in East Mayo. I will say this much. I recall myself with pride in 1974 being at Michael Vaughan's funeral in Quake's Road in Kilburn in June 74. There was many people who went to Portsmouth for that funeral. They weren't allowed, I believe, to go on the ferry from Portsmouth to the Isle of Wight. But under pressure from fierce pressure from British police, they hung on and waited until the cortege came in by ferry from the island, the Isle of Wight. And the piper, Larry O'Dowd from Sligo, who piped us through the town in Portsmouth, Michael Vaughan's funeral. And again, from Cricklewood, the Crown in Cricklewood to Quake's Road on the Friday evening, with the funeral on Saturday, and again the march up Kilburn High Road, in which a priest, Father Connolly, that was served in some diocese in Birmingham, led the parade and said a fitting tribute to a great man. The same went with the other two great men, Jack McNeil from Ballycry in 1940 with Tony Darcy. Tony Darcy that we honoured yesterday in Carlos Strand, Donapatrick Cemetery. The two of them under a De Valera government. A De Valera government that what he wouldn't accept in 1922 to go in and join the Free State, accepted it in 26 and went in and he founded Fianna Fáil. And he finished up just as bad as any of them. He even had a part in the execution of his own best man, Paddy McGrath from Dublin. And Jack McNeil, ruler of Ardee, that his name is on this monument here today, remembers that funeral coming through Longford on his way to North Mayo. And like, what can we say about Frank Stagg's funeral? What can we say about the diversion, the rights that was taken off his family, the way they divided the family, and the way the funeral was diverted? And what they done afterwards in Mayo Cemetery, I wasn't at it, but I reckon it was a total disgrace that anyone in Ballina couldn't move outside the door. And in the burial plot that they put them and compared them in, surely it didn't work, because there was people in Mayo who rushed and dug them out and put them in the proper Republican plot. And for ye, fair dues to ye, fair dues to ye for doing it, in the eyes of the Free State and British government. We could go on. We could go on forever. But the sad part about it is, as I'm travelling along the country and in each county, you'd often be thinking, and I often pass this memorial on my way maybe to Donegal on council business, or Sligo, somewhere like that. And I think of those brave men, and the brave parents they had, and the brave brothers and sisters that never flinched, never cried in the face of the enemy. Our chairman here showed me a letter yesterday, written by Seamus O'Malley from Oughterard, one of the Tuam martyrs, one of the 6 that was taken out in Tuam, near enough this time on the 11th of April 1922. And it's one of many letters. It's in print now. But how they could sit up and write that letter to their mother and tell them that how brave, how proud they were to be dying for Ireland. Not the Shawnees that came along, not those who got elected into institutes like first of all Leinster House, and indeed those who have gone into Stormont and probably later Westminster. They should go and take their seats in it because they are a part of that system, regardless of what they think. You know, we look at the Free States. They went away under Common Ale in 23 and they founded Fine Gael. Right, and they went into government. Givalera came along and he founded Fianna Fáil. He didn't take the name of Sinn Féin with them. Sean McBride again in 46 tried it from within. In 69, the Stickies, if I may call them that, and McGilla and his cohorts went in. And in 86, Adams and his crowd went in. But no one ever went with the enemy until the later. When Mark McGuinness went in and took a seat with the enemy in Stormont and condemned afterwards what Republicans were doing. The same thing that they fought for, like their predecessors in 22 and 23. They are condemning what they fought for themselves, condemning those who still stand and go out and fight for a united Ireland. We see the troubles in every country of the world at the moment, and indeed it was always there, because any country that England was ever in, they left them divided. They took the wealth out and they left division and hunger in those countries the same as they've done in ours. But I will say this much. Anyone who's riding 2 horses, who's in one of these institutes, whether it's Dublin, Westminster, or indeed Stormont, are mocking those easy men that we commemorate today by coming here and shedding so-called crocodile tears and planting memorials on their graves. I am telling you, stay away, because you've sold your soul, and once you've sold your soul and you sell your principles, you are no longer a Republican. And Mila Margaret. You've got the true Republicans' aims and objectives in Tomás Curtin there today, and we're proud to stand with him. We're proud to stand with you, true Republicans of County Mayo as well. I'd now like to call on the piper to play the national anthem.